today. From Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at Bill Stadium in Orchard Park.
Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense.
They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. He's got the first down inside the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. Well, you hate that for him. He gets so close on the big run, but has him in excellent position.
And I know there's plenty of competitive spirit on the defensive side of the ball, but part of me wonders if they would have just preferred him to go ahead and take it into the end zone rather than dealing with him again on a likely carry on this down.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Williams will score. Touchdown, Miami.
And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage. Our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off play action. Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
This one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 23 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
7 yards, the pickup there. This defense for the Dolphins, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
Yeah, they held them completely out of the end zone, just held them to a field goal. So they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
To throw again on second down. Allen. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off at the 33. The 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. Javon Holland coming up to make the stop. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, it's Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Henry Ruggs.
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Sanders on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Allen going to give this one to Singletary.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From just shy of midfield, Allen eluding the... And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Emmanuel Ogbah, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now, this first quarter, let's just be frank, it's been a disaster so far offensively.
Yeah, already down multiple scores, and it doesn't appear they can get out of their own way right now.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Allen.
And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Going up top. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it is 28-0.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Buffalo set to get the football back here. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Allen off the play fake. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers. And grab the completion for a really good pickup.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Allen. Caught right side, Davis. And he's brought down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Allen going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got Sternberger.
That coach is always hard finding the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in by Diggs. Line of scrimmage to the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play action. Now it's Allen. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
56, check 56. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen. And it's caught. They'll look to run with Singletary. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills get a bit closer. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but Closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets them home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Tua sets up to pass it. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. The rushing numbers for Gaskin last week, 12 carries, 88 yards.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Gaskin again, and he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Myles Gaskin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a Myles Gaskin touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the give, this is Singletary. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Allen's throw is complete, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for this with Singletary. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. And the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Here's Allen to throw it. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play here for Buffalo.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
On play action, Allen. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big gain there for the Bills. We'll make that now. Two completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Allen now looks to throw. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bills cut into that lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs with his second TD of the game, his sixth on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Now Allen off the bootleg. He'll swing this out to Moss. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. Throwing now is Allen. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Christian Wilkins in there to drop him at sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
Miami set to take over.
And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
I mean,
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Miami.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Bills are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Trying a little bit too hard, maybe forced.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Now Allen to try again after the pick 6.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Taken at about the 1. And he returns this to the 22. Buffalo set to get the football back here.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lead. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play here for Buffalo. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
Now the
Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They run here with Singletary, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
Allen now on third and goal. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's fourth and goal.
Great job here by this defense. They try to bring the receiver from one side of the field to the other, hoping he'll get lost in the wash. But a really nice job there to make a quick tackle and force fourth and goal.
Boswell's kick is good, and the Bills are forced to settle for 3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And we'll see what they want to do. Just 20 seconds remaining here before the half. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. Henry Ruggs. As the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And you wonder if with Allen's arm, they might just take their chances by dialing up a long one. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and it's the Patriots leading that one in the second quarter. It's Mac Jones with a touchdown pass there. From there, we head over to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home, Ford Field. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Tim Patrick, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. A touchdown pass for Trevor Lawrence. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not great starting field position as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd down at 5. Now Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Throw caught there by Osborne. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short. For 4th. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now Tua. He's going to look deep down the field. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
36.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive, give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up first downs. That's what we just saw right there.
20, 10, touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bills offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That boy showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Allen. He finds his man complete. It's Osborne. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 43 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. This is Gaskin on the carry. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. He's got the first down inside the 10. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Gaskin again on 2nd down. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check 9, check 9.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jaywo Oladolua with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive or no? And my goodness, another interception. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
From the 35 on second down, Allen. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Here's Gaskin. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Hey, pick your game up.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing again on second down. Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10. Now Allen. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 35. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's real. Gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp, but now but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go, D.
They'll run now with Gaskin, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And again this time to the tailback. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Williams. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins look like they're going to be moving to 6-0 as they extend that lead even further. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Bills. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team.
And my goodness, another interception. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they've wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they've wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he's going to have the Bills first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Allen. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen. And now here is another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And we now have a new single-game interception king, a record-breaking 5th pick there.
If that's not the true definition of a ball hawk, I don't know what is. That is absolutely phenomenal. What comes to mind quickly, partner, is one of the more recent ones to get to 4. D'Angelo Hall, a terrific player in his own right, but in this case, 5. That sets a brand new NFL record.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down at the 28.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
49, 49 the mic, 49 the mic. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Six yards left on second down.
Hey, just like that. Just like that. Mike's 49. Mike's 49.
A handoff as they run the counter play. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. On the give, this is their fullback. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Dolphins.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.